Hi guys, welcome to the Fourth Moment Weekly Roundup, and this is where you get your weekly dose of local football action. And there's a lot of local football action taking place. Andrew, we have obviously the ABC, the third division. We've had some tournaments over the weekend,
Yes.
Strandfontein under 14 specifically, and then also LFA friendlies are still continuing.
Sure, lots
even
of
in
those,
the past, yeah. And we're about 2 weeks away well, 1 week away from the Tigerberg starting.
Yes, they start on the 5th. A lot of LFAs are starting on the 5th.
Fifth, yeah. I think well, Cape District starting on the 12th, the next
Okay.
week, and then obviously we got Bale
Sure.
for the next weekend. So yeah, a lot of local football action taking place, and yeah, it's exciting. I don't know. There's something about local football. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm crazy. Something about local football that's exciting.
I think
it's okay to go watch a PSL game or NFD game, but when it comes to the local thing, it's like.
But that's what we're about, Shamiel.
Yeah.
You know, we highlight community football, local football, LFA football,
Yeah.
and I think that has always been the lifeblood of football in the Western Cape and South Africa. Most of the professional players have come up to the youth ranks of community clubs. Yeah. So you know that's why it's the lifeblood. That's why we enjoy it, and community support, and it's an atmosphere, and it's Shamiel. It's and players play for the badge. You know, too many professional players forget the reason why they play for their clubs. Yeah. Sometimes, and we understand that they need to make a living and everything, but the community clubs play, the communities are playing for their communities, their friends, their families.
And it's raw passion. It's like I was at the Strandfontein the weekend. It's like, you know, those ladies are just out there to play. And then we had the Vecchio stall, and then they were coming and making jokes, like this funny, boring jokes, but it was so, but all in teams, obviously.
Yeah,
so that is what was, and then I saw the same boys actually playing also. So yeah, and you can see they just having fun. They're giving it their heart and soul. And I think that's what excites
That's the lifeblood.
Yeah.
That's the lifeblood.
Anyway, enough about that.
Nice reminiscing.
There was a reminiscence. It's just when I start the show that I always get like excited about it. Anyway, regional Hollywood Bets Regional Men's League results, double header coming up this weekend.
Sure.
Which you're excited about?
Yes, always.
I think this is the weekend probably, is it safe to say, where the league might get sort of, not decided, but it's going to edge?
Yeah,
especially after the result.
I think after the results and the way the log looks at the moment, Shamiel, I think we're starting to see two contenders pulling away.
Yeah.
And I think this weekend with a double header, if they both get 6 points, I think they'll be further ahead and just be a two-horse race from now on.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. So
let's have a look.
Matches played on Friday, Saturday, also I think one on Sunday and then one on Tuesday. So we'll start with the earliest one, JL Zwane and Clover. JL Zwane getting a 2-1 win over Clover.
Yeah, we said we saw Zwane at home. Yeah, they need the points and they're pushing away now from danger. Yeah.
Saxon Rovers and Silver Spurs. Silver Spurs getting a good 2-0 win away.
Listen, Saxon's having a tough season, Shamiel. I think Silver Spurs, very good result. They're hovering there. If we actually look at the log, anybody from position 9 down is in trouble. They could still be dragged in the relegation zone. Very good 3 points.
Yeah. And then Ocean View and Wanderers. Wanderers getting a 4-1 win at Ocean View. Not the result that Ocean View was expecting.
Ocean View, you know, at home, we thought they'd do well. Wanderers, up and down, good win. Lost there. The last couple of weeks they've never been too consistent. But they still, if you look at the log, they're still the top 7.
Yeah. They've had a good start to the season,
yes,
definitely.
They have.
And then Premier United and Trinitarians. We thought Trinis will probably get one over here, 3-1 win.
Yeah, good result. Yeah, Premier have had a bit of a iffy season. The problem is they're being dragged down, Shamiel. If you look at the log, they are only like 6 points above the relegation zone. They could be dragged down. A couple of results goes against them. They're in trouble.
Especially after the double leaders. They need to get some wins there.
And this weekend, the bottom teams picked up wins. So they're catching up to them.
Yeah. And then this was the big match of the weekend, 1:30 on Saturday. Deodora and Greenwood. Greenwood playing at home at Solo Street and losing 3-1 to Deodora.
Yeah, the quality, I think, of Deodora, I think the ABC experience that they have in some of the players shone through. I think Greenwood will be disappointed. I think Shamiel, if we look at how they've performed, they've got 5 points out of 15 in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
And that's not the kind of run you want when you're trying to contend for the league.
Yeah.
And I think that has basically stumbled. Everybody was talking about their games in hand a couple of weeks ago. They're gone.
Yeah, it's finished now.
And they got no points.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, good luck to Deodora. They're now back top of the log. I do think that now the last 12, 13 games is where we're going to see the teams coming through.
Then Good Hope and Goal 50 United. Good Hope getting a 5-1 win over Goal 50. So we know Goal 50 has been struggling.
So Good Hope.
Yeah, sort of Good Hope. So I was going to say now, but we didn't expect the 5-1 loss up against Good Hope.
Yeah, listen, Good Hope. every time I say they're in trouble, they keep on getting a result, so I won't say that anymore. But listen, 5-1, I never thought 5-1.
Yeah.
Goal 50, obviously Coach Roger came in, the first couple of results, they got 4 points on the first 2 games. We thought, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
But now, obviously, he's obviously still working with them, and they need points, Sean.
Yeah, they're in trouble. Then Antalyaspor up against Camps Bay, 4-0 win for Antalyaspor, not a surprise.
Yeah, no, Camps Bay struggling, Sean, struggling.
Matroosfontein 1-0 win over YMO. That's a good win for Matroosfontein.
Good result.
And then Jomos beating Cape Town City 2-1. So that's a good win for Jomos. City driving all the way to
we did say last week, the field, Jomos, big crowd. I believe there was a rugby game and a soccer game was a collaboration between the two clubs on Sunday.
Okay.
And I believe there was a humongous amount of people there. So, and obviously City, the grass field, going there, atmosphere, the crowd, Jomos always, whenever you play in Atlantis, they grow an extra leg somewhere along the line. Good result.
Yeah. And then talking about Jomos, they had another good result on Tuesday night. They won Wanderers, who we just said was having an inconsistent season, 3-2 away. So Jomos away at Voorbrug in Delft, beating Wanderers 3-2.
Good 6 points.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Jomos, how can I put it now? They seem to up their game against the top teams, but it's the results against the Camps Bay. I'm not saying they're bad teams, but I'm saying against the teams that are below them on the log where they need to be more consistent. But I think they're safe. In my opinion, they're safe. So they just need to try and just see how high up they can be.
Yeah. Then looking at the log there now, Andrew, before we go to the double-header fixtures, because that's going to take us a while.
Wow.
Okay. So I had to. I'm going to give the whole log, okay? Because of the points difference. Like
let's go. Games and points.
Yeah. Diadora 22 matches, 47 points. Werner Moyne. Trinitarians 22 matches, 46 points.
Sure.
Cape Town City 22 matches, 41 points. So there you can see
there's 5 points. 5 points between them and Trinis. Yeah.
Then Greenwood now in 4th spot, 22 matches, 40 points.
Sure.
Wanderers, we're going to stop at Wanderers at 5th spot, 23 matches, 37 points, because from there it's still close. But we're going to look at the bottom of the log. So we've got Camps Bay, 18th position, 22 matches, 15 points.
Yeah.
Goodwood, 22 matches, 20 points. Good Hope. What did I say?
Goodwood.
Good Hope.
That's okay.
It's Poasa.
Go
50, 16
Sorry, what is Good Hope? 22 games?
20 points.
20 points.
So 5 points.
5 point difference. Camps Bay's 5 points.
Then Goal 50, 22 matches, 20 points also.
Sure.
Then Ocean View, 22 matches, 23 points.
Wow.
Saxon Rovers, 22 matches, 24 points.
Sure.
Clover, 22 matches, 24 points. And then in 12, Premier United, 22 matches, 25 points.
Wow.
And then in 11th spot, YMO, 22 matches, 26 points.
So who's third bottom?
Third bottom is Goal 50 at the moment.
They got how many points?
20 points. Okay. The same as Good Hope.
Yeah, the
second bottom.
So there's 5 points between third bottom, because at the moment we know guaranteed 3 go down.
Yeah.
Because two are gonna come from ABC.
Yeah.
You're gonna have another one down.
Yeah.
There's gonna be one Cape Town from the Cape Town stream, one will go down.
Yeah.
So 2 automatically go down, and there's gonna be 1 extra. So that's 3. So between third bottom 20 and Premier who have 25, it's 5 points.
5 points.
But there's so many teams.
Yeah, and the point difference is 1. But remember, if our regional winner doesn't win promotion.
Yeah, that's 4. Sure. So you got to end up 5th bottom to be super safe.
I would just go for top 10.
No. But the point is, a double-header weekend, if a team like, for example, Good Hope gets 6 points.
Yeah, they shoot. They
halfway up the table.
Yeah.
And other teams get 2 points and halfway up the table. And a whole lot of other, that's my point. The double-header weekends make a huge difference. That's why I get excited about double-header weekends.
Massive.
But it's very tight.
Not if you play.
No, not if you play. When I was coaching, I got excited because I enjoyed it.
Okay, then, so that's the log. Hope that just pointed a picture there for you guys. So, pictures coming up this weekend. To go
some big ones.
Camps Bay and Saxon Rovers. First one already. Boom. That is like, you fighting for survival. Shelley Road.
Yeah, Camps Bay at home have been picking up some results.
Yeah. Well, of late they haven't.
The problem is, Shamiel, if we look at that log that you just mentioned, if we say at the moment 24 points is safety, they are 9 points away from that, which is 3 wins, which is a lot when you're coming to 12 games to go.
Yeah.
So, they need to win, eh?
Yeah.
Saxons need to win also to get out of this
quagmire.
Because
that win takes them, just the one match takes them just under the top 10.
Yeah, so it shows you. Every game's important here in this league.
YMO versus Giles Wani. I think both teams
are
sort of
top
safe
8,
there.
so they're safe, yeah.
Yeah, well, YMO only 11 YMO can also get dragged in.
A couple of
They're
losses.
only 1 point away from
the 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Diadora up against Goal 50. I think, with all due respect to Goal 50, I think that's going to be a Diadora win.
They need to win. Yeah. They have to, because Trinitarians will put them under pressure, and Goal 50 need points. So no games is easy, Sean.
Yeah. I think now it's come
every game is
point
important.
of the season where you're banking points now. Yeah. Now you got to bank.
You got to.
Yeah.
Especially double headers.
Then on Saturday we've got Silver Spurs up against Ocean View.
So both teams need points. They're also in that whole fight.
Matroos up against Trinis. Wow.
That's a game, derby.
Northern's derby.
That's a game of the weekend.
Trinis, more pressure on Trinis here. I know they're saying they're not under pressure. More pressure on Trinis because this is a derby. This is a Northern's derby.
Yes. And I think Matroos are not just going to lie down. I think they're also trying to push for as much as possible.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of pride. I think Matroosfontein have been a bit inconsistent with results, but they're a good team.
Yeah.
I've watched them play. They're a decent team.
Yeah.
If Trinis must, in the back of their minds, they must know Diodora have a good chance of winning. I'm not saying they're going guaranteed. Yeah. There's a good chance of winning. So they're under pressure because they're playing after. If Diodora win, there's a bit more pressure on Trinis to get the result.
Which might be good also.
It might be good because they've been thriving coming from behind.
Yeah.
But the point is, Matroosfontein, home, Ellsbury, support.
And the way Matroosfontein is like, no, you must come get it, guys. You must come earn it.
Yeah, last year, Vasco, we won the league at Matroos. And I think we won 2-0. And the crowd was unbelievable. It was a huge crowd. And I can tell you now, thank goodness, we only needed a point because, we won the game. But I mean, it's a very tough place to go to, eh?
It might actually be a game to go to.
Pity I'm playing same time as I'd be there.
Antalya Sport up against Premier United.
Nice game.
Yeah.
Antalya Sport started off well. Premier League points.
Clover up against Good Hope. I don't think we can really call that one. Good Hope is like inconsistent, but Good Hope has got more motivation to win. Greenwood up against Wanderers.
Greenwood have to win.
Yeah.
Shamiel, they are 7 points behind now. They were a couple of weeks ago. They were top.
Yeah.
And they just need to win.
Sunday's matches. We got Clover up against Diadora.
Tough for Diadora away.
Yeah. Man, to be honest with you, I'm looking at. No, it's in the day, so it'll be at Mandalay. I don't know. I'll fancy Diadora.
Okay.
Premier up against Camps Bay.
Camps Bay need points. Yeah. Premier, I think Premier will win that one.
Yeah. Ocean View up against Saxon Rovers.
Saxon's got a tough weekend. They got the teams around them. They got Silver Spurs. They got Ocean View.
That's good.
Ocean View want to win, Sean.
Yeah.
Want to win.
Matroos up against Antalya Sport.
Matroos, big weekend. Trinis, Antalya Sport, 2 days.
Yeah.
Both at home.
Both at home.
Good game.
Good Hope up against YMO.
Okay, that's the second game for Good Hope.
Yep.
They need the points as well.
Yeah.
YMO, if YMO lose, they're going to be dragged down into that thing. I promise you after this weekend.
Goal 50 up against Cape Town City.
Oh, Ina.
Yeah.
Goal 50 got first and third this weekend. They need to pick up something.
Jomo's up against Silver Spurs.
Shamiel, Jomo's. Sure, I think Jomo's will win. Atlantis. Yeah, Jomo's.
Then on Tuesday, we've got Giles Wani up against Trinis. This is obviously, so if Trinis get the win,
against Matroos.
Yeah, they're going to sort of fancy them. They're on their way to putting pressure on Diadora there.
Yeah.
And then,
but you know Coach Zulu, he don't like to lose, brother.
No.
He'll be fighting there.
No. And then on Wednesday, we've got Cape Town City up against Greenwood.
Wow. Wednesday?
Yeah.
What time?
7:30.
Now, I might need to change my training session. I think Cape Town City at home, Greenwood away. Greenwood know they have to win. Cape Town City know they have to win. I think if Greenwood lose, they're 10 points behind. They could effectively be 13 points behind by that stage.
There's still a lot of games left,
Yeah, but making up 10 points away, Diodora and Trinis are being so consistent, it's going to be very difficult.
And the draw is going to help both Diodora and Trinis.
Yeah, exactly. So whoever loses there is in deep trouble. I would think that basically at the title race.
Okay, so that's all the fixtures for the double-header weekend, Andrew.
Sure.
Lekker bizar. Right, so we're going to jump to the ABC Motsepe A first. And we had some results there, obviously. Starting off with Crystal Palace and FN Rangers. FN Rangers losing 2-1 to Crystal Palace.
Yeah, they're in trouble, Shamiel. FN 1-0 up half-time. Palace got 2 goals second half. It's tough to beat them in Manenberg. I think, Palace are keeping themselves in there with the title race. They're effectively, at the moment, 8 points behind
Yeah.
Zizwe. But there's still 5 games to go. Anything can still happen. Zizwe pick up 2 losses, and Palace are there to pick up the pieces as well. So listen, it's very good result for Palace to keep the momentum. Very bad result for FN.
FN Rangers. Then we've got Hout Bay beating Cape Town Spurs 4-2.
Yeah, the result doesn't actually tell you the true story or the whole story. Spurs were 2-2 for a long time.
Okay.
Hout Bay just at the end got 2 goals.
Yeah.
Tough to beat in Hout Bay.
Hout Bay, yeah. And Spurs in trouble, basically.
Yeah, Spurs in trouble. I wouldn't say Hout Bay are out of the title race yet. I think, well, the title race, the stream race.
Yeah.
Because the title, they're obviously going to play the other stream winner. But I think with Hout Bay at home, they're very tough.
Yeah.
And I think they will be pushing till the end of the season. If they win their last 5 games, they could end up second or first.
Okay. Then we've got City Kings and Vasco da Gama. You guys coming out 2-1 winners there at Portuguese.
Yeah, we're just getting ourselves over the line here all the time. Tough game. Tough field, tough conditions, tough team. I think City Kings, they got a lot of good young players. There's some good 16, 17-year-old players in that squad. I think Coach Dylan, we said before that, they're a very tough team to beat. They're not. Last week, I know that 5-0 loss against Ubuntu. They had a couple of players missing with suspension. They all came back against us.
Okay.
Very nice team.
Also, the structures changed there, but in terms of ownership, at City Kings.
And Coach Dylan's done a very good job, in my opinion. They're safe from relegation, so that's a good thing. I think that's mission accomplished. Setting themselves up for next year. Yeah, and I think we were 1-0 up. Half-time, we went 2-0 up. We conceded a penalty. We never get penalties, Shamiel. We just concede penalties.
You're like giving away. You're a giver.
Yeah, we're a giver. We don't get. I think I've had 1 penalty the whole season. Some other teams have had like plenty. We only get 1. And then, we just held on. I think boys are showing a lot of character, my boys.
Okay. Zizwe and Young Bafanas. Zizwe going on a 4-1 win there. Zizwe is just keep on going.
That train is just motoring on. Odyssey, very difficult to see where they're going to drop points.
Yeah.
Young Bafana, not a bad team, especially at home. I mean, they got their last 5 games, they got 3 at home, so you're basically looking at 9 points. Very, very tough team to beat, Shamiel. Young Bafana, not a bad team.
Okay.
About a month ago, we played them, beat them 2-1.
2-1,
nice team. I think Coach Caesar's trying to get his philosophy in there. They need 6 points to be safe.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting to see where they get it the next couple of weeks.
And then this game would have loved to have been there. Junction Rovers and Grassy Park Junction Rovers beating Grassy Park 2-0. Both sides playing attacking football. Nobody holds back.
Listen, I heard the goalkeeper of Grassy Park had an excellent first half, and then second half, Grassy Park came, had opportunities to score, just couldn't score. Junction at home, the crowd at Heideveld is I always like going there. The atmosphere is unbelievable. It's nice. It's beautiful for a coach and the players to play under that every week at home. Very difficult. I think GP
got a good goalkeeper, that youngster.
They got a good team. I think that the thing with GP is just a bit of inconsistency, and maybe
also
ball's not running. Even the game you came to watch against us, they could have got a lot out of the game, or something out of the game.
But also they also have a change in players.
Yes,
few players that have left.
I still think GP to run their last 5 games, they'll do well the next 5 games.
And then Diaz leads up against Ubuntu. Ubuntu getting a good 5-2 win over Diaz.
5 goals. Previous week they beat City Kings 5-0. They beat Diaz Leeds 5-2. We thought they'd win. Good result. Yeah.
Looking at the log there quickly, Zizwe top of the log with 40 points, 17 matches played. Vasco in second spot, 37 points, 17 matches played. So you guys are thereabouts?
Yeah, and it's our first season, Shamiel. People, we just got promotion. Our first objective was 30 points to avoid relegation. And now we're just riding the wave till the end of the season. Listen, I still don't feel like Zizwe is going to drop points.
Third spot is Crystal Palace with 32 points. And then we look at the bottom of the log. Diaz leads obviously with 0 points, 16 matches played.
100 goals conceded.
100 goals against. 13 points for Cape Town Spurs in second last spot in 11th place. And then Young Bafana is also their third last, 17 points, 17 matches played.
Yeah, and FN's on 19 points.
Yes,
so there's 6 points between FN and Spurs. I think one out of those 3 will go down.
What do you mean? One out of the 3, yeah. With Diaz leads.
Diaz, 2 go down,
Okay, and then looking at the fixtures taking place this weekend. So we've got Cape Town Spurs up against City Kings. Spurs have to win.
They have to win. That's Saturday, 3 o'clock. Spurs have to win.
Yeah. Vasco up against Ubuntu.
Tough one for us.
A win will do you nicely.
Yeah, we have to win.
Keeping in touch.
We have to win all 5 games. That's just the cloth that's been cut for us. And I think it's going to be very difficult. Ubuntu, the away game with 2-0 up against us after 20 minutes. We had to come back to win 3-2. They're on a roll.
Yeah.
They're very confident. They've scored 10 goals the last two games.
Yeah.
Very tough to beat.
Grassy Park up against Crystal Palace. That's going to be a nice game to watch.
Friday, 7:30.
Yep.
And then get out to William Herbert.
Yeah.
Very good game. I think contrast in styles.
Yeah.
One very direct, Crystal Palace. One team that likes to play Grassy Park.
And they're playing at home.
You should have a nice crowd there on Friday. People would have broken their fast before 7, so they would have had time to eat and then come through. I personally think lots of goals.
Yeah. And then on Saturday, we've got some matches also. Although your game is
on Saturday. Our game Saturday, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
People are used to basketball playing on a Sunday.
Spurs also,
we're playing Saturday this week.
Spurs also changed from a Friday to a Saturday.
Spurs is Saturday, 3 o'clock as well.
Yeah. So yeah, all the matches are Saturday. So
except for the Grassy Park game.
Except for the Grassy Park game. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Young Bafana up against Diaz Leeds. I think Young Bafana for a win. They're playing at home.
And like we said, they 4 points above Spurs. They need to win.
Yeah. Tough one for FN Rangers. We just spoke about them earlier on. They're playing Zizwe, the log leaders. Can they stop the train? That's the question. It's a tough one. It's going to be a tough one for Coach Saatchi.
The problem with Coach Saatchi and them, I think people are looking at them and looking at last year when they went to the whole season unbeaten. They went to the playoffs, won their first playoff game. Everybody was thinking, here they go. And now I don't think they're used to being in this position for a long while because they've been competing in the ABC for a number of years now. They've been the top 2, top 3.
Yeah.
I think the experience of FN is going to have to carry the boys through to the end of the season to pick up points. I personally think they need 6 to be safe.
Yeah. Also, that team with a lot of new players, obviously, also.
They need 6 points to be safe.
Junction Rovers are hosting Houtpay. That's going to be a very interesting game. Just for Houtpay to go to Heideveld and experience the Heideveldness.
Yeah, listen, they call it Harry Guala because that's a graveyard.
Yeah.
Sure, Shamiel, I think Houtpay are used to the turf, so we can't say the turf is a problem.
No, I don't think that's the issue.
I think both teams like to attack.
Yeah.
I think Junction got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
They're safe. In my opinion, they're just going to go out and attack Houtpay, and we'll see how Houtpay react. I think that game could also have lots of goals.
I think the onus is here on Junction to take it to Houtpay, and like you say, we'll see what the reaction is.
Yeah, but I think Houtpay know they need to win all their games. So
they have to.
I think they will also come out. That's what I'm saying. It'll be a nice game.
That's the stream A. They're going to stream B. Some results there. Nova Park up against the Pequeno, beating them 7-0 on Friday night. So Nova Park is going strong.
In my opinion, Shamiel, the stream is theirs. 7-0. They were 7-0 up at halftime. Got all their goals in the first half. Obviously, Masori took players off the rest.
Yeah.
Very tough for anybody to beat them.
Say Seaside Spurs and Marty. Seaside getting a good 2-0 win over Marty's there.
Third win in a row for Seaside.
Yeah, it's a good win for them against
They're doing
Marty's.
well.
Yeah.
They're doing well. I think maybe they need 3 points to be super safe, but very good results.
Yeah. Then Royal Blues up against Infantry, and Royal Blues winning 3-0. Good win for Royal Blues.
Yeah, knew that. Infantry are struggling. They're basically almost gone.
Yeah.
Royal Blues are tough to beat in both.
I was going to say, we spoke about Junction. Royal Blues, also a team that was promoted a few years ago.
Yeah.
Mostly community guys.
A lot number of years ago.
Yeah.
But they've always been struggling.
Yeah.
This year, they seem to have got that phase where they're more tougher to beat at home.
Yeah.
And also away, because they've had some good away results.
Okay.
I remember them going to Paul a couple of weeks ago and winning. So, very tough beat. A team has an Afrikaans word called lastig, where they come at you and they press you all the time and they look disorganized, but they actually, they look disorganized, but they know what they're doing. They got a tall striker who's played for them a number of years and always seems to score a toe poke here, or he runs through and he finishes, he can finish. So yeah, good. It's good for both.
Yeah.
They got a team in the top 3 in the stream, and I think the other 2 teams are also might be safe this year.
Barcelona and Salem, talking about the other team, Barcelona there, beating Salem 1-0.
Salem only pick up home points,
home points team. Santos and Oriented Birds 2-2 draw. It's a bit of a...
Yeah, I don't think the result suits either.
Yeah,
I think that's just basically giving the stream to Hanover Park. I think Santos got games in hand, but they need to win all of them.
Yeah.
Oriented Birds, 8 points behind with a game in hand. It's tough for them, man.
Ubuntu Spartans beating Amar Academy, which is a surprise, 1-0. Because I thought Amar would actually be
Yeah, me too, but I think it's tough in both for Shamiel, and Ubuntu needed points.
Ubuntu Spartans, right? Stream B log. So got Nova Park 37. It's theirs to lose. 17 matches played, 37 points. 8 points ahead of Oriented Birds, who's got 29 points with 16 matches played, and then Royal Blues 16 matches played with 27 points. So yeah, it's Nova Parks to lose, and then we got bottom of the log Infantry School.
Yeah,
7 points, 16 matches, and then Salem 15 points, 17 matches, and then Pequeno Here we get interesting. Barcelona 14, 17 points in 9th. And Pequeno Cosmos 10th position, 14 matches, 15 points. And then Seaside Spurs above them in 7th spot with 17 matches, 22 points.
Yeah. That's why I said Seaside needs 3 to be safe.
Yeah.
Salem, I would like to know how many home games they got left because they pick up a lot of points at home.
Okay.
But the other 2 teams, Barcelona and Pequeno, got games in hand.
Well,
and I think the problem is, Shamiel, we can't guarantee points there. So
especially to see who they play.
If Salem wins 2 home games in a row, for example, then the others are under pressure to win the games in hand.
Yeah. The Marties are hosting Ubuntu Spartans on Friday on the fixtures day for Stream B. Marties up against Ubuntu Spartans. Marties. Salem United, home team.
Yep.
Royal Blues against Royal Blues. We'll see what happens.
Sure, tough one. Yeah. I think Royal Blues need to win.
Oriented Birds up against Nova Park. Here's the one. Nova Park win.
Coolest deur die kerk. Game, set and match. Finito, klaar. It's done. Tough to go to play it, to be honest. Yeah. Oriented Birds are not easy to beat at home. But it's Hanover Park. They win it this week.
The nice thing about Plate, it's tough to go there, but it's a good field to play on.
It is, yeah. We had the playoffs. Yeah, so, yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think the atmosphere is going to be very good.
No.
I think they're going to make it difficult. But I think
that's good practice for the playoffs.
Yeah, Hanover Park's experience, Shamiel, the way they're scoring goals, the way the team is playing, I don't see them losing.
And Pequeno Cosmos are hosting Barcelona.
Both
need points.
They both need points.
Both need points. And Santos up against Seaside Spurs. That's going to be a nice, tough game.
Santos have to win. Yeah, Santos have to pray that something happens at Hanover Park. In order to put them under pressure, they have to win. Seaside doing well. Yeah. 3 wins in a row.
Amar are hosting Inventory Schools, and I think I put
Amar. Okay, game set. Done.
Whew, that's sort of done and dusted for the ABC Motsepe and the 3rd division. Before we go, we're going to have a quick just recap of the Strandfontein under 14 tournament that took place. Tournament by the Sea. It's back now after a few years. Won by Wolves from Cape District. So we're going to say congratulations to Wolves. Out of the blue there. Watch them a bit, Andrew, on Saturday. No surprise that they won the tournament. Okay. Immediately you can pick up, sometimes when you're watching a game, you can pick up, that's a player. Picked up about 3 or 4 in that team.
Wow.
Goals that were scored was like, wow. Yeah. Wow. Under 14, 13-year-olds was a good match to watch, and well done to Wolves, and well done to the LOC of Strandfontein getting the tournament back on track.
Oh, brilliant.
And having a successful tournament.
Yeah, from all accounts, what I was hearing on Saturday was that Spurs and Kaapstad were the 2 teams to watch. And then Wolves came along and turned the tables around. Yeah. And I think it's brilliant for our community clubs. Wolves has been a community club at Cape District for a good number of years. Long time. I remember I was young, and I remember the name Wolves. And Wolves, obviously coming from Wolves from overseas, with the fox and everything, or the wolf as they...
The wolf.
The fox.
They don't call the foxes.
Yeah, whatever. That's Leicester. that wolf there on their logo is intimidating already. And a good number of very good players came through that club in the years gone by. Who end up going to play pro. Yeah. So it's good to see, and let's watch them at the Chinese tournament coming up. Also under 14.
Yeah, and then so sort of that's it. So I know there's a tournament happening a club tournament happening at Northerns in the LFA. Yeah. Okay. So all the best with that, guys. And then before we go, we're gonna say big up thanks to Vecchio, our apparel sponsor as usual, and also now our videos being edited by London Visuals. So let us know what you guys think of the videos now. You can throw some recommendations, but when you throw a recommendation, throw a donation with.
And please comment if a wolf looks like a fox. You can also comment on that for me.
Engage, like, subscribe to YouTube. That's where we want to get in on the YouTube channel. We want to see that growing. But if you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, comment, like, interact. You know the story. And until next week, we'll see you. Cheers.